morning and welcome to the Haunted Tents setup build day 30. We've been at this for 30 days. This will be your 30th vlog to watch. I envy you guys your patience and I thank you for watching. As far as good morning, I should have said it's almost good afternoon. It's a little after 11 o'clock. Had a couple things I wanted to cover before we headed outside. First off, a Sue update. She's feeling better today. So the worst of it was yesterday, and yesterday was pretty shaky. We were pretty concerned. She did have a semi-rough night, and this time I ended up having a rough night too because my back was acting up. But she is doing a little bit better today. She says she's well enough to help me get the pumps activated in the haunt. I'm going to be watching her like a hawk. Just real easy. All she's got to do is kneel down, plug a cord in, and unplug it if I yell. So she's going to do that. But anyway, she is doing better. Thank you for all the well wishes. Another thing I wanted to cover, and this is haunt related while I've been sitting here waiting for my pain meds to kick in on my back, is I wanted to talk about scents. Smells. A lot of people tell you lighting is important in the haunt. Other people will tell you sound is important in the haunt. Another aspect of it is the smells in your haunt. Going into a room. Well, I'm just going to bring up the clown display. When you go into a circus theme or carnival themed room, you are trying to create the illusion of, like you're actually at the circus or at a carnival or something. And you can do that with detailing in your wall panels, the props, lighting and stuff. But one thing that sets it off is the smells. When you're at a carnival or at the circus, what are a couple of smells that you run into? Popcorn, cotton candy. That's the way I chose to go. You could also go, elephant turds and musty hay. Those are some of the other smells. For our clown hall, I went popcorn and cotton candy were the two. And I went through Scott Tater Lind, aka from Foggy's, and last year, and I went. They have a not wide, but I should say huge library of different scents that you can buy. They have some that are already pre-mixed, so you just use them straight out of the bottle. Or you can buy bottles of concentrate. And, God, what is it? Mix half an ounce to 1 gallon. This bottle here will do 2 gallons. So there's 1 ounce of scent in there for 2 gallons of, or I should say there's 1 ounce of concentrate to do 2 gallons of scent. No one is going to use 2 gallons worth of scent in their haunt, at one time. When I originally ordered my scents from Foggy's, I thought I was buying the pre-mixed stuff. I goofed up. I bought concentrate instead. And now I'm kind of glad I did, because this little bottle here is going to last me 3 or 4 haunt seasons more than likely. So that means I have to mix my own. So what I did is I went down to the dollar store and I bought these airplane traveling bottles. They're a 2.7 ounce bottle. And I went and in each one of the concentrates, I took a pipette and I filled it right up to where my fingers are 6 times and put that amount in the bottle and then just filled it up with water and shook it. It's coming out a little stronger than what you get in the pre-made bottles, which is fine. I like my scents a little stronger anyway. But this year we went with 5 different smells. I've got popcorn and cotton candy, which will be going in the clown room, and we got to get that up. I went and picked up Gothic, which is similar to Haunted House, which is another smell I got. And that will be sprayed like in the gypsy room, the photo hall, what have you. And then we picked up Swampy Marsh, which will be going in the Pirate and the Water room. I'm not sure what scents we're going to use in the spider display yet. We might just do a mix of Swampy Marsh and Haunted House, or Gothic and Haunted House, or whatever. But I spent some time this morning basically going through and getting all the scents made, so we can just go through and spray them. And word of warning on these scents, a little bit goes a long way. I have some panels for the photo hall that I used the, I think it was a Haunted House smell in last year. I went to put those panels up today, this year. They still smell almost as bad as they did from last year. So this stuff lasts a long, long time. And those panels sit out in the weather. But anyway, I got the scents made up this morning. And been sitting here, like I said, with my back throwing kittens. So I've been waiting for the pain pills to kick in. They're finally starting to kick in, so I've got to get out in the haunt. Okay, Kaylee and I are just getting out in the haunt. I got to get the truck moved, the flags up, and the blow-ups up. Then I got to walk the haunt. Right now I'm out here in the courtyard area, which is our last area to be lit, which shouldn't take too terribly long, I would hope. I've got lights on those weapons I need to put in. I need to put some lights in on Witchy Poo. And then I've got those I need lights on. And I think I covered last night these here on the walls underneath the projection screen. I'm not putting any lights on. I don't know. The best way to do the lighting, if I was going to do it, would be to mount them here and have them pointed down. But that's within hand's reach of most of the kids. I'd need to mount them up here and angle them down, which I could, but I'm afraid the light shining across the screen would interfere with the projections. So I really don't want to, interfere with projections. The projections are the main focal point in here. So we're just going to go with no lights on them, I think. So it shouldn't really take all that long to get the lights in here. Then I have 5 or is it 6 power lines I need to run. I've got one power line that has to run from my box clear out to the front of the haunt for the donation box. Then I have the 4 cameras that I picked up, the dash cams, I need to place within the haunt, to do recordings and stuff, to kind of keep an eye on things, plus get scare footage. And I know we're going to do one in the graveyard, one in the clown hallway, one in the spider. And then the 4th one, I'm not sure what the heck I'm going to do with. And then past that, we're going to be getting into fine tuning. I can get all the power lines and stuff ran. We've got to go through, I'll have Morgan come out and she'll do a complete sweeping, like in here. The whole driveway needs to be swept. The wind's blowing stuff around. I gotta get, she's got that to do. The grass is just as bad. There's leaves and hay dribble and stuff, so that's all going to need to be raked and picked up. That's Morgan's area. Then I gotta get in here and like here, this bar here, gets a sheet of plastic, black plastic that will cut into strips. It's like that in between each display that people have to pass through. That way they can't see from display to display. I also have to get a fence mounted from here to here to keep people from going down this way. And we have one of our captain's chair that we didn't use this year that we're thinking about setting here and putting some skellies in it and around it to kind of decorate up this area. And then possibly doing some sort of framework here to hang just a solid sheet of black plastic so they can't even see the trailer. Kind of block it off. I've got that to do. I've got the scents. Now I got to get out here and get sprayed. I got the pumps I still got to do. I got to go through and tuck all my wiring. Cut off the zip ties, bundle things up. I've got the projectors that need to get put in. So, you know, it's just little bits of this, that, and everything else. Savannah and I just walked the haunt. Found two problems, and they're both water related. You're over here in the clown. The first one is with the clown pond. The pond itself is at the same level it was yesterday. I'm looking at that bucket right there. You notice the water's down about 2 or 3 inches in it. When I turned the water off yesterday, it was flush with the top of the So where the hell did the water go? Because the water height in the pond didn't go anywhere. That's down 3 inches. And the only thing in there that water could go into would be the hosing for the solenoid. But the hosing wouldn't hold that much water unless it got past the solenoid somehow and leaked out. Which means I'm going to need to fire this up and test it and see. The other one is this one. And as you can see, it is way down. That means I have a hole in the liner someplace. Where? I have no idea. So I'm going to have to get in here. Swan just took all the, and see, she is feeling better. She is out here. But anyway, I'm going to have to get in here, get the fence panels off, get everything out of there, and we're going to just put a new liner in. And then we'll have to re-dye and refill. And that means I can't turn the pumps on until that's fixed. This one has gone down a little bit, but that's as to be expected. The weight of the water is making the ground compress a little bit, so it always drops an inch or two. And I have to top it off, refill it. So there's no problem there. And I can refill that one when I refill this one. So, does that dresser have anything to say on the matter? Nothing crucial? Yeah, okay. So this is going to be a hell of a project. I think what we're going to do is we're going to get the witchy courtyard area taken care of first. Yeah, witchy poo. So I can get that cleaned up and what have you, and then I'll get over here and start tackling this. Because this is going to be a good hour to 2 hour long project. Okay, midday update. Almost there in time. It's going on about 4 o'clock, 4:30. Actually about 4:35. Not too bad. We got the courtyard area where Witchy Poo is. All the lights are in and they work. I just need to aim them. I'll do that after dinner when it's dark enough. We've gotten in here and we've been working on the ponds. I got the liner for the Leering Skeletons pond replaced. It's been refilled. We filled up, retouched up all the ponds. And funny, I figured out what was causing the problem with the barrel being down low. The water was down even with the water blaster, the top of the water blaster. So that means it backflowed from the water blaster in through its hosing and all the way to the compressor. Which I don't see how it could do, because I left the air compressors plugged in. So the lines were charged, but it went from the air blaster through its hose to the solenoid and must have leaked out there. That's the only thing I can think of for where the water went, because the level of the pond did not go up. Now I did fix it. I went and took the white pipe there and I added some clear tubing on it. So it's actually the bottom of the clear tubing, or the end of the clear tubing, is down just slightly lower than the level of the, or than the top of the water blaster. So when I turn the pumps off tonight, the water will automatically siphon back into the pond, which is fine. And then tomorrow morning when I plug the ponds in, it'll take that water and put it back in the barrel. That way the water blaster is not acting as a siphon. In here, we replaced the liner, refilled it, got the water flowing, and I do have one adjustment. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. I normally like having the tube coming out the skeleton's mouth, hitting the front teeth, and it kind of fans the water out. I need to pull the copper tube that hose is hooked into that runs down the thing's spine further back in to the body. I'll pull the tube back in, which will cause it to fan out, or I can just leave it like that. No biggie. Now the water wall, my fix seems to be working on that. I went and added that sheet metal shroud to it to prevent it from shooting the water off to the side, which means I won't have to put any plexiglass in this year. Now what I'm worried about is up here at the end of the pipe. That's where the pump hose attaches onto. Last year we had a leak there, and it was actually shooting straight up and then coming running back down the wall. If it does that this year, it's going to hit the light. So I'm going to have to watch that. If it starts leaking, I'm going to have to go wading and put a shroud in over that fitting so it doesn't do that. I don't mind if it hits the wall and runs down the inside of the wall. I mean, the whole thing's in the water, so the water won't go nowhere. I just don't want it hitting that light. Now, the reason why I've got the pipe here is for this one. That one's working pretty good, but it's hitting the edge here a little bit. So, I need to fix the nozzle, and to do that, I just gotta push it down. Like that. And it shortens the arc. Need to go down just a bit more. More like that. And also changes the water flow a little bit too, so it looks a little different. But now it's not aiming out. Now I know it's probably getting a little too dark to see fine details in here. But ponds and the pump are working. These will be running every day now. When I plug in the blow-up, the pumps will go on. And I'll have to come in here every day and check the ponds, make sure they're working and what have you. Now we're probably going to hook this up to AC tonight and get the Scubaboo board working in here so we can test the water blasters. I want to see how they're reacting, especially the one in the clown hallway. Since that and the air whip over in that clown over there are going to be my main scares this year. I want to make sure they're working right. But it's working okay. The water is not coming over the barrel off the front, and that's because the barrel is sitting at an angle. But it is coming off into the back and staying in the pool for the most part. You know, with I'm going to have to refill these ponds. You know, keep an eye on the water level. I do every year. Every year I always have to touch them up a little bit, you know, at some point to get a little bit more water in them because, you know, they do splash and everything else. And I lose a little bit and the levels go down. But this is done. Courtyard done other than aiming lights. And I said that when I started this segment. Sue-Ann is still feeling pretty shaky. But she did come out. She wanted some fresh air. And bless her little heart, she did some cobwebbing in the graveyard and got the fences in this area done. Didn't take her long. She still says she wants a little bit more work, do a little bit more stretching, but she was starting to feel pretty shaky again. So she's in the house, and she'll be out tomorrow to putt around a little bit more. Hopefully she's feeling even better tomorrow. She hid in here too. Got some cobwebbing there. And then she put some tomato plant vines on here to creep it out a little bit. She's also got to get back into the water room and get all her stuff put back on the gate, on the fence for that one pond. She had to take it off so I could take the fencing down so I could redo the liner. I've got one light that I need to replace out in the photo op. It's one of the old style 6 LED floodlights, and the wires are ripped out of the back by the look of it. Must have happened when we were opening the fence or whatever. So I'm just going to swap it out, and I'll put one of my Haunted Treasures blue floods in there. I like that idea anyway. It'll light up those pumpkins a bit more. So that's a quick, easy fix. I still need to run a power wire from here all the way out front for the donation box. And then I also need to get, if you guys remember, I got 4, I think I mentioned it earlier, I got 4 of those dash cams, like Jason, I want to say Jason Oliver, and it's not Jason Oliver. God damn, Becker. Jason Becker had been using. I bought 4 of them. I got to get those out here, figure out where I'm going to put them, get the wiring ran for those yet. And I'm probably going to do that after dinner. And then kind of just go from there. I still need to go through. I've got the wiring mess up here on top of the wall and there and stuff I need to get cleaned up. And I still got to get the curtains and stuff in. You know, and if I don't get to it today, that's fine. I've got all day tomorrow and all day on Thursday to screw with it. I do know I definitely have to get the stereos out here and the projectors out here and get those in tomorrow so we can test them tomorrow night. At least the projectors tomorrow night. I can test the stereos during the day. That's no problem. But I need to get the projectors out here and working and set up so I can test them tomorrow night, because Thursday night is VIP night and they have to be up and running for that. Last year we only had the 2 projectors, one for here and one for here, and they were not working for VIP night, so my VIPs didn't get to see the projection. So this is all going to be totally brand new for them. But anyway, we're getting right down to it. There's just a little bit here and a little bit there I need to do, and probably take a day to do it all in. Hey guys, we started the vlog in the basement. We're ending it in the basement. Trying to figure out where to start here. No walkthrough. No, I didn't show you the courtyard. That's because I never got the lights aimed. That's because after about 6 o'clock, I haven't been out in the hunt. I've been up in the hospital. I mentioned, I think it was last night, that Swan has not been feeling good. She was actually seemed like she was doing a lot better today. She's been taking a lot of Advil, a lot of Tylenol, and whatever, and she actually putted around out in the hunt, did a little bit of cobwebbing today. About 6 o'clock, pain meds, you know, the Advil and Tylenol started wearing off, and she ended up on the ground, doubled up in pain once, you know, the pain meds wore off. Screaming, crying, and it just got progressively worse. Finally, about 6 o'clock, we said to hell with it, went up to the hospital. It is now a little after 9. I'm just getting home from the hospital, hence I haven't done anything else out in the hunt. Swan's still up at the hospital with all the testing and everything. Infected gallbladder. They're going to attempt using IV antibiotics to cure it. A day or 2, they say. So I'm going to be shorthanded at least a couple of days on the hunt. Hopefully. And that's the good news. Bad news, if the antibiotics don't do anything, they're going to go in and have to remove her gallbladder. She'll be laid up through the whole hunt season, which means I don't know if I'll be opening Halloween night. The other nights that we are open are slow enough I can handle them on my own. Halloween night, we get over 1,000 people through here. I can't do Halloween night by myself. I just can't anymore. We've grown too big. So I'm going to make some calls. I've got a couple of friends I can talk to and see if they can give a hand with it. But still up in the air. As far as haunt building goes, we got the sewer room done. Now, you know, the liner in there fixed, and that's all put back together. I still got to get the creepy cloth and stuff back up on the fencing, because Sue-Ann's not going to be able to do it, obviously. But, and then we got the courtyard wired up and working. I got to get the lights aimed. I can do that tomorrow night. I still need to run a power line out front for the new donation box. I need to run power lines and get the security cameras placed. I've got to get the curtains up. I got to get the stereo and the projectors installed. That's all got to be done tomorrow. The projectors, at least, have to be installed tomorrow because I got to test them tomorrow night. But we're getting there. You know, I mean, it's just a little bit of lots of small stuff that needs to be done. I mean, the longest portions are going to be running the power lines out, you know, and I need to test the cameras, make sure they're sitting in the right position and, you know, what have you. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. I haven't even had dinner. I got my dinner sitting right there. I like to get eaten while it's still hot. Peanut butter and fried egg sandwiches. That's what sounded good. I know it sounds gross, but it's actually quite good. Stay spooky. Stay toxic.